Excited. Good day, good people. Good day. It is Wednesday, a wonderful Wednesday indeed. And I am SherVonne Grose, your fantabulous host. And I have here with me my very special guest. We will be doing a very special show, what we call Cup Couch and Conversation.
Yes,
we're taking it live. We're
Yep.
taking it live.
Yes.
So we are so excited. We're just going to have good old girlfriend conversation, right? To help you get a glimpse into what it is like for you to attend Cup Couch and Conversation. Listen, guys, listen. Oh, I forgot. I'm so excited about it that I did not properly do my introduction. So let me just restart that. How about that?
Right.
Wherever you are in the world, good day, good people, good day. And welcome to Wow, which only will live television show where I am your fantabulous host, SherVonne Grose, marriage and family therapist, inspirational coach, and motivational speaker. It is Wednesday, a wonderful Wednesday indeed. You know what we do on Wednesday, guys? We wow. And by wow, I mean to wish only well all across the world. Listen, I have a very special guest in the studio with me, so you guys can already see, and we're actually live.
We're together.
Yes. So I have with me the fabulous, the phenomenal LaShayWilson. LaShay is the owner of Directed Past. She is also the creator of the Single Note. Yes, the Single Note. It is a blog, and you can follow her. She'll tell you all about it, how to connect with her, and how to be able to get some of those juicy tips that she be giving out on the Single Note. That's not just for the single ladies,
not just for
or
singles.
the single men.
It is not just for singles.
Right. And so she is the owner of Directed Path, the creator of the Single Note, and she is also the co-therapist of Cup Couch and Conversations.
Yes.
We have Cup Couch and Conversation, which is a virtual group therapy. We do it the first Monday of every month. Yes, help your friend, girl. Help your friend.
Right.
So we have one that's going to be coming up.
Yes.
Right.
It is next Monday.
Yes.
Monday. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it too.
Looking
I think
forward
the
to
very
it.
first one was very successful.
It was.
I feel like it was very successful.
And it's a new twist.
It is
a twist to what we do in traditional group therapy.
Exactly.
But the basis of it is the same.
Mm-hmm.
We continue to try and reach people by helping them to connect on things that they have in common, things that are similar. I am just a firm believer in group therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It has so many benefits because it is a place to connect.
Right.
And so I enjoyed our very first one because the level of connection was just very different than what I would have if we were doing individual therapy.
Exactly.
So the engagement was different.
Yes. And I think the intent was for it to be a safe space for women to be able to come and just have true conversation about whatever it is that may be affecting them.
Right.
And so I think it went very well.
It did. And talking about it being safe and confidential, one of the things that we did, and I know we didn't even plan on this, was as we were having the virtual and the verbal dialogue, I was sending messages to the group participants to ask them if there was something specific that they did not feel like verbalizing that they wanted us to address. And of course, the inbox was going off.
Yes.
And so, to protect their confidentiality, I would just bring it up and then we discussed it as clinicians. So it was good.
It was really very good.
It was really good.
We got really good feedback from it, and I was excited to see some of the ladies chime in and said that they couldn't wait until the next segment, the next session for us to do it. One person was thinking that they had already missed it or whatever. So I think that attests to, and it was a small group, but it was an intimate setting. So I think people really felt like they could share whatever they needed to share within that space because we were intentional about making it known about what goes on here, what is said here, that it stays here, and that we respect each other. Not necessarily saying that you have to always agree with but we want it to be respectful, and people have different ways of expressing themselves.
And I honestly think that every participant felt heard.
Exactly.
And I think coming in, being able to just have that blank slate.
Mm-hmm.
There was no judgment
Right,
zone,
which is important.
and the freedom to just address if they felt like sharing it openly, they did.
Right.
And then clearly from the response, there was just, I guess, a level of support that I think the women who shared, they had to have felt, because as one person shared, then someone else would share.
Right.
But that is the beauty
Right.
of group therapy.
Exactly.
That is the beauty of group therapy.
It
I think
is.
rather than back in the day when I used to do all the individual
Right.
therapy,
Exactly.
group therapy
Yes.
is my favorite.
Right.
It really
Exactly.
is my favorite.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like that too, because you get, it's not you having to be the mastermind,
Correct.
I guess, if you say. So it's
Correct.
like we all, even though, you know, we were purposeful about having, you know, co-therapists to be able to kind of just gauge and guide and kind of keep everybody.
Right.
And so I think that kind of attitude, we had amazing. You were there. We had Tanya.
Tanya,
Tanya is just such a sweetheart. You
Yeah.
guys were also a part of the WOW, some Women of Worth Symposium.
Yeah.
And I mean, gosh, I could not, you know, I every time I talk to someone who either sat in your class or sat in on Tanya's, it's always something positive.
Oh, right.
It's always something uplifting, and it's what they needed.
That's good.
And so, which is how
this was formed, right? Right.
This is how this was formed.
Yeah.
So excited about that. Can't wait to the next Couch and Conversation, which will be this coming Monday, November the 7th. At 8 p.m. And the reason why we do it at 8 p.m. So before I forget, go on over to Eventbrite and get registered. We do need for you to register for it, because again, we try to be mindful of the number of people who are in the group, so that we can make sure that it is a safe setting and that people do feel comfortable. And so that you, and of course, the access is secured. So anybody just can't jump on to be a part of the group. So go on over there to get registered. But I was going to say it's at 8 p.m. And the reason why we decided to have it at 8 p.m., I guess you guys say it on a Monday, it's at the beginning of the week. So sometimes we need that fuel. We need that motivation to be able to get through the week, right? Maybe you had a long weekend or a tough weekend, and, you know, maybe the first day of work, the first work day of the work week, maybe been a little much. Sometimes you got to juggle working and family and all of that. So we do it at 8 p.m. So by that time, hopefully you've gotten everything taken care of. Your family is settled. If you have family, you've done the dishes, you folded the laundry,
all of that.
You're all settled.
Fed the kids, checked homework, all of that thing.
All of
that they're responsible for.
Are taken care of. And so now you can just enjoy that moment of coming for 1 hour and being able to just share with other women. Again, it's about making the connection. And I think every woman who participated in our last session had a connection, felt a connection.
I do believe so. Believe so. I think we, by allowing the self-expression, because we don't give the rules of you have to present yourself in this way. And that is one of the beauties of therapy as a whole, but for women to be able to come and to present in their own way, you know, if they felt like sharing personal stories, that was the format in which to do that. And I think that was the realness of the group. Because nobody was saying, you know, well, can they say that? Or there was none of that. There was such a level of women who were in need and who understood that at the end of this, I will feel as if I've been heard and maybe a need was met. We can't address everything. We can't. And our time ran over the last time. It ran over because it was so good. But we can't address everything, but definitely to feel that we were able to impart something into the ladies before they left. For sure.
And I also like how the women rallied around each other and said things too. That the support was really real in that moment. And so I didn't feel, and I don't think that any of the other women felt like they were belittled or there were big eyes and just say big eyes and little U's. I don't think it was any of that. Even with us as like the co-therapists of the group, I don't think that we was acting like we were all high and mighty or whatever.
Which is the beauty of our group, though. That is the beauty of having professional women
Yeah.
who don't have to fight
Right.
for recognition.
Exactly.
I think in our own rights, we know who we are.
For sure.
And when we come together,
When
we merge.
We merge. Oh,
We're stronger.
Oh,
we're stronger
we
when we
better
merge
together for sure.
Okay, exactly. And so I think that is one of the things, because I don't think any of us were on there talking about our degrees, our credentials, where we were. It did not matter at all, because we were there for healing and to help someone be healed. And I think that as clinicians and former clinicians, although all of us still dabble in it, we are at a place where we have walked this walk professionally.
Yes.
And we don't have to fight for a position.
We don't.
We can just bring what we have,
bring it to the table. Bring it to
Come
the
as
table.
You are
exactly.
to the table.
Yes.
And that's what works for
and
women.
Get what you need from that table. Yeah. I love it. it. I think the whole concept of couch and conversation we were very specific and I guess intentional about using those words, because a cup, right? It's something that you can look at and you can see, and it actually says bold. I'm holding it. I guess we should bold, strong, and incredibly satisfied.
Yes.
We're not talking about coffee.
Right.
We're talking about
us. Right?
Drink to that.
Yeah.
So listen,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I wanted to bring the point that I was making about the cup is having the cup there, because it's so important that we, in all of our roles that we do, and I can, I talk much about women. I think women is my ministry. For number one, I've said this before, because I am a woman, so I know what we go through.
Yeah.
I'm a married woman, a woman with children. I'm a mother. I'm also a business owner, so we wear just very different hats, right? Whether I'm a business owner or not, I'm employed. So I'm somebody's, and so it's important for us to keep our cup filled. So, right. So I know I said, bring your cup to the table, bring your cup, fill it with your favorite beverage, but we also want you to walk away from cup, couch, and conversation, feeling like your cup has been filled so that you can be prepared for, so it's, like I said, it's just so important for us to have our cup filled and to not run on empty because it's so easy to do. Right. And so that's why we had the cup.
Right.
And the couch is a place. If you think about a couch, it's usually a place for resting, right?
Correct.
Right. And so there, where you have a cup, and we say, well, come to the couch, bring your cup, fill your cup, come to the couch, get comfortable on the couch and be ready to have conversation. So we were very intentional about that. So again, the cup, you need to be filled. The couch is a reminder of the fact that you need to be rest. You need to get rest. Rest is so important. And then conversation is, if you find yourself in the midst of a situation, because sometimes we don't share. We hold in. We don't talk. So we invite you to have conversation, to know that you're not in it alone. It's okay to say that you're not okay. And so that's the whole purpose of cup, couch, and the conversation. We're very intentional.
And it's self-care. I think all three of those things represent a part of self-care. Right. I know people typically think, in old terms, that the couch was always associated with therapy.
Right.
But we have taken and did a different spin on that, because the cup, the couch, and the conversation really is about self-care.
Exactly.
Helping you to become the person who recognizes that there has to be a time that you pull away. And that you can sit on that couch, have that coffee or whatever in your cup, and then have some dialogue with somebody. So it was intentional. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, I would say. But it works. And it is a good reminder to women who, like ourselves, we play so many different roles. Not in just, a week's time, but even in a day, in a given day, we wear so many hats.
Right.
And we all need that reminder. My recent post was about, for parents to, especially single parents, whether it was men or women, to really take the time and celebrate what you have been able to accomplish as a parent. Not that we get it right all the time. I've never been the person to say, I got it right. I've made mistakes. And I think one of the things in having conversations with others is that we have to acknowledge that. We have to, even with our children, I've done it with my own child, to confess that I don't get it right. I have not always made the best decisions. I have
Right.
not always done it right. I have not always been the parent that I am today.
What did I do?
So I think that as long as we can continue to go through, the cup, the couch, the conversation, the self-care, and then to just be realistic too with those that we're sharing with.
Oh, sure.
I think that's what comes across. And so, that self-care is so important.
So
important. Yeah.
So very important.
Yeah.
I think and I've said that before, I think it's undervalued and sometimes maybe even misunderstood. Like people don't really have a good understanding of what it means, self-care, and how it needs to be. You need to be really intentional about it. And it needs to be something that you do daily, not something you do every once in a while.
Right.
And so, yes, because I truly believe that if you engage in regular self-care, it helps you with your emotional and mental wellness.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Right?
And we're so much better.
Yes.
Because we already have to meet needs for so many people.
Right.
I am more able to do what I need to do for others, whether it's my dear friend, whether it's my daughter, whether it's work related, but I am better able to do that when I've taken care of myself.
For sure.
And when LaShay takes care of LaShay, everybody benefits from
Everybody benefits from it. Right, exactly.
Right?
And that's so important. It reminds me of one of the things that kind of came out in the sessions that we had last time. Our first couch and conversation was the expectations of others. How do you deal with that when people are trying to put more on you than you're willing to take on? Because sometimes we just can't.
Right.
And I think that was the conversation. Like, what do we do? Because if your supervisor is saying you need to have this done, and because we wear so many different hats and a lot of times we're so good at what we do, right?
That our reward is give them more.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes we have to set that boundary. And that is self-care.
And that's the key.
Setting boundaries is self-care. It does not have to be popular.
Right.
It does not even have to be accepted for those around us.
Right.
But setting clear boundaries with people, that's self-care.
Yes,
totally self-care.
for sure. Yes.
Totally.
I love when we, I think at the very first thing we did with Fanika was that making you a priority.
Yes.
And so we talked about, prioritizing you and, what that actually looks like. And some people may not understand it. They, may even be offended by it.
Right.
But you got to do what you got to do to take care of you. So, I don't want to get off on the soapbox.
And it's fine because even at the recent event that we did, one of the people who were at that first thing at Fanika's place said, LaShay, I still remember the advice you gave me. She's a married person.
Wow.
But during that first time meeting at Fanika's, I talked about how I reward myself every time I got paid.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So you'll have to join us on a private conversation with that. But it was about.
She's normally here, but I don't see her. But I know she knows.
Right. And so she's like, I still remember that. Because again, even single, married, whatever, that self-care is so important that you have to find that thing that makes you. If you have children, if you have husband, sometimes we just don't feel like a woman.
We don't.
And we have to get in touch with what is going to make that happen for me. And when she said that to me at that event, I chuckled because we started that was last year.
Yeah.
So, but
it
those
was
are
actually the year before.
Was it the year before?
Yeah.
So we've been connecting for a while.
Yeah.
But for her to still remember that was impactful because again, I was only speaking of it because it has been my experience about finding something to celebrate who I am. It does, and they laugh all the time at me. People laugh because I am a goodwill fanatic, but even that is relaxing for me. And that is something that I find pleasure in. And I would definitely, even now where I'm doing a therapy session, where I'm talking to my staff, whoever, it's always about find something to celebrate you.
I love
whatever that thing is, find that thing and do it. And do it regularly.
Yeah. I always tell my clients at the end, I said, what's working for you? And they say, I said, do more of it.
Yes.
Make sure you continue to do that. And if it's possible, do more of it. Because one thing you want to make sure is when you're engaging in self-care, it needs to be something that's pleasurable, something that's going to basically you're going to feel recovered. That's not the word I'm looking for. I was looking for refresh,
revive.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. That's why we are so good together, right? That is why we are excellent together. And so, but yes. And so and let me just say this. I hope that the audience can feel this because I love our energy, but this is the energy. This is the energy that you got from WOW Women of Worth Symposium. This is the energy that was when it was needed within this place that we share, but just the intimacy and the seriousness and the, just wanting to, and we have playful moments inside of the group therapy. There's absolutely nothing wrong. They say humor is good. It's good for you.
We're gonna laugh.
Laughter is good for the soul.
Definitely.
And so it's a great way to actually relieve, stress and stuff. So we're really excited. I know that some people are kind of taking aback, I guess, or kind of feeling a bit uncomfortable when you talk about therapy. First of all, in general, it's hard to get people to sometimes to engage in individual therapy when they need it because they have whatever apprehension about it or whatever it may be that keep them. And so now we're talking about group therapy where you're inviting other people and people are, what do you say to those who feel like, I don't want everybody in my business?
Yeah, but honestly, there's a place for that person. Everybody is not going to benefit from large gatherings, small gatherings, group gatherings. That's not for everyone.
Right.
But I would say to the person who is struggling with, hey, I don't want people in my business, which is a whole caveat. I could go on, but I'm not going to go there because I wrote about that one time. I wrote about that. But I would say to that individual, if it is really about meeting the need, what their need is, then find somebody. It doesn't have to be us. It does not have to be access to a group therapist or, but find somebody.
Exactly.
Because I guarantee you, whatever the issue is that you are dealing with, that you don't want people in your business about, it is coming out.
Yes.
It's just visibly seen in other ways. And so the problem is not going away. It does not go away. And so I would encourage that person, certainly reach out. I don't call my private business, I don't even call it therapy. I call it family consulting.
Yes.
Because I do realize that there are people who are just totally turned off by the word therapy. Because it has such a negative connotation. People automatically think, I got to be on medication or
I'm crazy.
And so when I chose the name for it, I intentionally did not list it as a therapy service. I just listed it as a family consulting business because, again, I can't treat one person.
Right.
I really do have to treat the family. And I really do have to dig
perspective.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I really do have to dig into not just the identified person, but, we're going to have to talk about what else happened. Is it the relationship? And so those things. And so I still would say to that person, there is a place for you.
There is
and it doesn't have to be group therapy.
It doesn't have to be.
I mean, I literally, I said, we'll come to your house.
Right.
Exactly. We can, but you have to begin the conversation.
Exactly.
And I think even on my business cards, it's having conversations, one conversation at a time.
Exactly.
Helping the family one conversation at a time. And so for that person who is just totally opposed to therapy or group therapy, there's still a place for you.
There's still a place for you. I love it.
Yeah.
I couldn't have answered that any better myself, but I definitely agree that there is definitely a place. And I say this all the time too, for me, even as a therapist, don't shy away because something about me maybe offends you or that you just don't like. I realize that I can't be everybody's therapist. I realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. I get it. Some people may say, you're a bit too nice or whatever the case may be. I know some therapists that, go hardcore. Right. I'm thinking that's definitely not me or for me, but it works for somebody. And you got to have some people that are just that way. So we get it. But I may not be your therapist, but still don't hesitate to reach out because I may know someone else, who might be. I have conversations with clients before actually deciding whether or not they can actually be a client of mine because I need to, first of all, make sure that I can help them because
Yes.
some things are just outside of my scope of expertise. And I don't want to do harm to anybody.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so even if we start some sessions and it get to the point where it's like we've gotten to a road, we're not going any further.
Yeah.
I just think it might be a good idea if so there are different things, different kind of situations that kind of come up that just, sometimes your therapist just is no longer a fit for you, or you outgrown.
Right. In a relationship. Because ultimately, that is what it is. It is a relationship, and it's important.
Right.
It is important that whoever is seeking therapy connects with the therapist, but vice versa. It's important that that therapist comes in feeling that we have connected. I do feel as if, I'm able to help. I think one of the things that I laugh all the time when I talk about my early days of working in mental health in 1997, just fresh doing mental health and treatment. And I had a case where the offender had killed her child. And she was, having to do time for killing her child. Well, I recognized what a lot of therapists can't ever do. And I realized early on, I'm not going to be able to help her. And I went to our psychiatrist at the time and I said, hey, I could not walk into any case where there had been a murder of a child and feel as if I'm able to give that client what they needed. It was just impossible.
Yeah.
Most of it was because I had my own child in 96.
Right.
And then I was assigned this case to work with this person who had killed their child. And any good clinician, you got to know what you can and can't do.
Exactly.
And I knew that was a no for me.
Yes.
And so that is important that we also know. So it's not just the patient saying, hey, I need this. No, we have to make sure that it's a fit for us.
It's a fit for us too.
Well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally walked away from that. I was like, somebody else.
Yes, exactly.
I cannot.
But that's wisdom, and that's why. And it's not, and that lets you know that you're in it. I think therapists who do that a lot really is more of a ministry, because I think for me, therapy is ministry, and I say this a lot of times. And I love my clients, and I think they love me too, apparently, because they keep coming back. Yeah. But I say this like I did at the conference, like I have a Jonah moment sometimes. Like, I'm not quite sure, Lord. I'm not sure this is what you want me, but at the end of the day, I know for sure that it is. And sometimes the things that, we talk a lot about being able to walk in our purpose, and we're smiling when we say I'm walking in my purpose. But I think we also have to be careful not to be misleading to anyone, because sometimes walking in your purpose can be labor intensive.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's
a burden sometimes.
It can be a burden.
It's
exactly.
a burden.
So it's not all roses and not all smiles.
And for somebody like me who I have struggled, not with my faith and not with, my overall walk, but really finding what the purpose is now. Because I feel like for these 54 years of living, I've had so many different purposes.
Right.
And I have been at a place sometimes where I did question God, like, you really need me to do this now? Almost like where I am now, because those of you who know me know I stopped doing therapy.
Yes.
I know it's been 7 years, at least 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But what has continued to happen is God is opening this door again. I pride myself on what I currently do with foster care, and I love managing that and ensuring that children are taken care of. But at the end of the day, there is still now this pulling again. Sometimes it's you, SherVonne, but there's this pulling me back into something that I felt my time had been up with. And I do that a lot in serving and in ministry. I'll say, well, it's someone else's time. Yeah. But I find myself continuing, even now, it's like that pull is back there. The doors are opening up again for me, to go back into therapy. But it is something that I do struggle with. I struggle because I do feel like my purpose has changed. So much. And not really knowing. I'm not, even today, I am not clear. Full confession. I am not clear. And so when I'm not clear about something, I don't make a decision. I'm not gonna make a decision.
Which is the way it's supposed to be. Listen, this time is our time is like up, like already. So you gotta tell, so you have to tell them how to connect with you, your single note and everything.
Listen, yes, if you are on Facebook, because that is the only platform that the single note is currently on, and all you have to do is search for the single note. And it will come up and you will see a little picture graphic that actually a kid that I used to do therapy with hand drew for me. Shout out to Zoe Corey. But yeah, she drew that for me. Beautiful artwork. But that is how you can find me, or you can email me at thesinglenote@gmail.com. I do get emails for people who are just inquiring about sometimes the things that I post, but that is how I can be found.
Yay! Yeah. So listen, that is all our time. We hope that you will join us this Monday. It's again Cup Couch and Conversation, virtual group therapy, the first Monday of every month. So if you can't get here on November, Monday coming up, November the 7th, hey, check us out in December. We'll be back. But we hope that you can join us. Listen, go on over to eventbrite.com, go to my Facebook page, and you will be able to see it. Hopefully, it will soon be on the website so that you can just go to the website and listen, stay connected to us. You can follow me on Facebook as well, on Instagram, but I'm mostly more active on Facebook. Find me on there. Listen, follow us because we have some really good things that we have coming up. Merge is coming up. So stay tuned for that. And then Women of Worth Symposium 2023. We got to do it again. Bigger and better. All right, guys. So this is all of our time for tonight.
Thank you. I've enjoyed that. It's
yeah. So if you want more of the conversation, again, come on into the room. We gotta go, guys. We gotta go grab something to eat.
We do.
We gotta go eat. We gotta fill the belly. We gotta fill our cups.
Our cups.
Yes. So we
will
have some conversation. Yes. All right, guys. So we are going. Listen, you know what we do. You know how we do it, right? Right. So we wish only well. So we bid you a good rest of your day and a good rest of your work week. And we hope that you can find some rest and some enjoyment all within the same time over the weekend. So ta-ta, we're going, guys. Good night.